Hey, now welcome. You are listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's WVON 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation, our favorite radio station. And we are creating millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and one dime at a time. And that means you. Hey, now you've heard me say this. An economy without a business cannot thrive. Just like a car without an engine cannot drive. So if you want to drive your dreams, if you want to drive your finances, if you want to drive your community, if you want to drive your legacy, then I recommend that you get in business. That's right. Get in business. Do it now. Do not hesitate. Do not doubt yourself. Do not believe that it won't be successful. Let me tell you something. Everybody who starts a business has something way back there that says to them that it just might not make it. It's just like a basketball player trying to shoot and hit that winning shot at the last second of the game. They don't necessarily know if they're going to make the, make the shot, but they take it anyway. So I'm asking you to take the shot anyway and to treat yourself, your life, your business in the same manner, or even more so, even better than someone would treat their most prized possession in the automobile, or I should say in the automobile industry, in the automobile area. So that car, is it the Lexus? Is it the Mercedes? Is it the BMW? What is it that you would like to drive? Drive your business in the same way that you believe you would take care of that car. I remember being at an event once, and I was trying to teach about financial principles and about saving, and everybody in the room said, I don't have enough money. My bills are too much. My money is too little. My money is funny and my change is strange. Everybody in the room had excuses about why they could not get to the next level financially. And then I had a member of my team send a text to everyone in the room from a different number. I had that person send a text, and I said, we have a Lexus available for $1,000. The first person to reply will get the Lexus. Do you know everybody in the room found $1,000 for the Lexus? Every single person. Not one person failed to respond to that text message about the $1,000 Lexus. Why? Because they believed that the Lexus would bring them value. They believed that the Lexus would give them some symbol of status. They thought that $1,000 Lexus was a great investment because in their minds, they had already determined that the Lexus was worth way more than the $1,000 that they had to scrape up. Now, mind you, some of them didn't even have the money. Some of them didn't have money to get home, had barely gotten there, and so on and so forth. But they were going to find $1,000, charge it, or whatever to get that Lexus. What I'm saying to you, and of course, I was able to tell them that that was not the truth, that was a test. And every single person in that room was convicted, and they got the message that you have to be just as vigilant about investing in yourself as you would be about investing in something that the world has told you has value. Even the best Lexus is going to decrease in value over time. And what I'm suggesting is that you put your money, you put that $1,000 into something, into your mind, something that can increase in value over time, something that can help you prosper over time, something that will help you grow over time, something that will help you build your legacy and add money to your bank account as opposed to taking it away. Okay, so if you're going to treat this business, your life, like an engine, and I've talked about oiling the engine, I've talked about that. If you're going to treat it this way, then you must understand the personality, okay? I want you to understand the personality of an entrepreneur. I have said often, everybody is an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is not something or someone that is set aside that you cannot be or emulate, and it's not a status that you cannot attain. I believe everyone is an entrepreneur. Even if you decide, I want to go to school and I want to be a teacher can also be an entrepreneur. Even if you decide, I want to, be a lawyer can also be an entrepreneur. If you decide, I just do hair, someone who does hair can be an entrepreneur. You may have gone to school for engineering or to be a doctor or whatever it is. Guess what? You can also be an entrepreneur. If you are a dentist, you can also be an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurialism is something that we can all achieve, and it is simply the ability to continue to create new ideas, products, and services that you can monetize. That is for me, is essentially the center of entrepreneurialism. It is the ability to create ideas and products and services that you can monetize. That's what it is. So most entrepreneurs that I know are always looking for another way to monetize something. So let's just take some of the people in the hip hop industry. My big brother, Russell Simmons, my good dear friend, he has done everything from, just starting out with records, and then concerts, and then with fashion, and then with financial companies, and so on, and then yoga studios, always finding a way to turn his ideas, products, and services into monetizable assets, meaning you can make money from them. All right. So the very big difference between an entrepreneur and someone who is not is that an entrepreneur is going to make money. Some others have these ideas, but they want to give them away. That's not what we're talking about. Not that giving isn't good. Giving is good. But right now, we are talking about turning your ideas into money. The harvest is here. The time is now.
Give yourself the gift of wealth with no limits. Lynn Richardson and New Wealth University is giving 50% off on the Platinum Wealth Ambassador Program. The Platinum Wealth Ambassador Program will give you 2 full years of unlimited access to all of Lynn's online classes, books, boot camps, master classes, and webinars. So, give yourself the gift of wealth with no limits with 50% off on the Platinum Wealth Ambassador Program, available on lynnrichardson.com.
Let's talk about real estate, real estate, real estate.
Hi, I'm financial expert Lynn Richardson. You've seen me on Good Morning America, The Breakfast Club, and WVON. I'm so excited about sharing with you the Home Buyers Club. It's time for you to get the home of your dreams. No credit, no problem. Low credit, no problem. No down payment, no problem. I am excited about you getting a piece of the American dream. Join the Home Buyers Club today. So what's the action of the day and the word of the hour? The action of the day is to go and get some help if you don't have it. Go to asklynn.org and ask for the Master Achievement Plan. Better yet, join the Entrepreneurs Academy so that you can learn everything that you need to learn in order to get to the next level. The word of the day comes from 1 Chronicles 4:10. And it says, and people know this as the prayer of Jabez. And it says, "Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory." Jabez cried out to the God of Israel and said, "Oh, that you would bless me and enlarge my territory." Don't you know that you can enlarge your territory? What is your financial space looking like right now? What is your business looking like right now? Where do you need to improve? What is it that you want to do bigger and better and in a new and different way? You have the ability to get the help that you need. So I say, cry out and ask God to expand your territory. And then after you do that, go and get some help in a real and meaningful way. from someone who has been where you are so that you can get where you're trying to go. The harvest is here. The time is now. Don't turn that dial. We have to take a break. We'll be right back. WVON.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I'm your host, Lynn Richardson, and we are creating millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and one dime at a time. And that means you. So here's the deal. An economy without a business cannot thrive, just like a car without an engine cannot drive. And in order to take care of that engine, and I've talked about oiling the engine, in order to take care of that engine, you must know what you're taking care of. You must know the anatomy of it. And what I'm going to say, what I'm going to say is this: one of the most important things in your business is the personality of the entrepreneur. Okay, so in understanding the anatomy of your business, what are the components? What makes it work? What are the things that make it go? What are the things that wake it up? What are the things that make it move? In your business, you've got to start to think about that business anatomy. And the main component of the anatomy of the business is the individual. One of the main components is the individual who is running it. And the individual who is running that business, some of you don't think you are an entrepreneur because you think that you're not, smart. And that is not necessarily a requirement. You think that you are not creative. Creativity is required, but it doesn't have to be you. You think that you are not gifted. Yes, everybody is gifted at something. But the truth is, many entrepreneurs are those who have ideas. They have a great idea. They may be passionate about it, but they don't understand the personality of an entrepreneur that makes up the anatomy of that business. So I want you to understand this. Now that you know why it makes sense, it makes dollars and cents. Okay? It makes dollars and cents, SENSE, and it makes dollars and cents, CENTS, for you to be in business for yourself. Even if you love your current job. As a matter of fact, I say yes, love your job. Enjoy your job. Get your benefits. Get your 401k. Belong to something bigger than yourself. You don't have to choose. You can do both with excellence. You can do both with excellence. In my book, The Symphony, A Guide to Creating and Balancing Multiple Streams of Income, one of my contributors, Ingrid Woolfolk, she's known as the numbers girl. She talks about the hustle, basically. And she talks about having the corporate gig, being excellent at that, and also having a business and doing them both well, and not allowing one to take away from the other. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Yes, you can do both. All right. So the whole idea, remember, entrepreneurs are finding ways to turn ideas and products and services into income streams. So I call them increments, right? And I look at this as a symphony, because at a musical symphony, you have many different instruments. And when you play them all at the right time, they make one beautiful sound. In your business symphony, you have increments. Increments are businesses that make money. And when you play each one at the right time, they will make for one big, fat, wealthy life. Okay? One nice bank account, a nice, reserve, a great retirement fund, wealth that you can pass on to your family. So, but you got to understand you, and you have to understand the parts of you that are good for your business, the parts of you that are not so good for your business, and the parts of you that don't exist, that are required for business. All right. So in order to understand the business anatomy, you've got to understand who is in it. And you are one of the main, assets to your business. So here's the personality of an entrepreneur. Here is one of the components. One of the components, or one of the character traits, one of the personality traits, is the thinker. Okay. The thinker is the personality of the entrepreneur who will put a plan in place to make a dream a reality. All right? So, Jeff Bezos may have said, I want to build a global store. It started out as a bookstore, I think. And now Amazon can deliver anything within a day, 24 hours, sometimes the same day. I don't get it. You know, I remember having surgery and I needed one of the body pieces that help you to stay tight, basically. It's like a girdle, okay? It's like a medical girdle. That's what it is. And I needed that because I've had a couple of surgeries. I've had a C-section. I've had weight loss surgery. I'll tell you about that and so on and so forth. And I went on Amazon and found it. I remember needing some tape. It's surgical tape that will help to remove a scar or a keloid. And I had gotten some from my doctor. And I ran out and I went on Amazon, found the tape, got that the next day. You can get anything. There was a thinker who put the plan in place. There is a thinker who puts together the blueprint. There is a thinker who makes sure that what is conceptualized in the mind can actually come to reality in the real world, okay? So there's a thinker. Some of you are running businesses and you have a great idea, but you have not thought it through. And because you have not thought it through, it has not proved to be as successful as it could be. And you may be frustrated. And really what you need is someone to help you think through. You got to get rid of your ego, because someone who's going to help you think through is going to challenge everything you say. And it's going to feel like they are minimizing, attacking, or something like that. But that's not it. They are simply making sure that everything is thought through. The next person, the next part of this, the personality of this entrepreneur is a storyteller. That's the marketing. That's the one who can tell everybody, hey, this is a good thing, and get the message out there in a way that people can receive it, and in a way that people can not only receive it, but tell others about it. All right. That's the storyteller. The next part of this personality of the entrepreneur is the hunter. The hunter preys on new business opportunities without ceasing. They're always going out hunting for a way to get the product or service in the hands of other people. That's different than marketing. Marketing is saying it's wonderful. Hunting is saying you need to buy it. Can you buy it? Can we put a deal together? You need a hunter in your business while you are learning about the anatomy of your business. And that anatomy includes an individual, and it's probably you, the entrepreneur. You need to understand the pieces of this entrepreneur, the personality type of the entrepreneur. The next part of the personality of the entrepreneur is, and this is very, very important. You've always got to remember, if you've got a thinker, if you've got someone who's going to be the storyteller, if you've got someone who's going to be the hunter, you also need, and I'm adding this, you need the calculator. You need a calculator. A calculator is going to be your financial person, your person who manages the budget, the person who balances the books, and the calculator is going to make sure you stay profitable, because we don't want to run a janky business. We've talked about that. We don't want to run a broke business. We don't want to run a janky business. We want things adding up. We want profit. We want revenue, and we want expenses and cost of goods sold to be less than that. And then we want a profit. So I'm going to keep talking about oiling your business engine. And guess what? The harvest is here and the time is now.
Don't turn that dial. We have to take a break. We'll be right back. WVON.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I'm your host, Lynn Richardson, and we are creating millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and $1 at a time. And that means you.
The harvest is here and the time is now. And yes, it is time to oil
your business engine. Yes, take care of that. Check it, tune it up, and get it moving and running so that you can get where you're trying to go. Now, let me say this. The purpose of a gasoline car engine is to convert gasoline into motion so that your car can move. The purpose of a business engine is to convert your energy, your activity, your thoughts, ideas, and products and services into sales so that you can have a profit. Okay? Let me repeat. The purpose of a gasoline car engine is to convert gasoline into motion so your car can move. If the engine is not working properly, then it will not give the gasoline the energy and the thrust that it needs to get your car to move from one place to the next. The purpose of your business engine is to convert your ideas, intellectual property, products, services, and your offerings into sales. Because if you're in business, you are selling something. Some people say, I'm not a salesperson. Yes, you are. I don't care any company that you look out there, they're selling something. They might be selling a product. They might be selling a service. They might be selling technology. But every company is out there providing something in exchange for money. So the purpose of your business engine is to convert everything that you have, that you brought to the table, into sales so that you can produce a profit. No, I did not say produce revenue. If you do all of the things that you're supposed to do and your business brings in $50,000, but you spend $150,000, then not only are you living check to Monday, but so is your business. And that's not what we're after. So it's to make it not only a business that is successful in terms of sales, but also one that is profitable so that you can keep some of that profit and live the life that you see yourself living. Now, one of the first places that you need to look at in terms of profit, I'm simply going to define profit as the additional money above and beyond expenses and emergency needs. Okay? Profit is the additional money above and beyond expenses and emergency and tax needs. I'm going to say that. Let me say this all over again. Profit is the additional money that is left over above and beyond expenses, emergency needs, and taxes. All right? Because here's what happens. A lot of people, let's say your business brings in $10,000, your expenses are $5,000, and you go out and buy a $5,000 purse because you want to reward yourself, or you take yourself on a $5,000 vacation because you want to reward yourself because of all the work that you've done. But guess what? Next month, your business has an emergency. No money has come in. So now you are in the red, and now taxes are due and you still don't have any money. So profit is simply the amount of money that is left over after expenses. Now expenses include employees, staff, the lights, the gas, overhead, technology, internet. Let me tell you something. We have so many subscriptions. Just go check out your Zoom subscription and everything that it takes to make your business run. You'll find lots of expenses. So track every single one. It's all of your expenses. It's the money you need for emergencies. Your business needs minimally 3 months in reserves. Okay? So you need enough money in your business account to pay your staff for the next 3 months, to pay for essential inventory, and all of those things that you're going to need to make the business run. All right. And then you also need money set aside for taxes, because we don't want to leave that, undealt with and then be in trouble at the end of the year. The first way to establish a profit in your business is to make sure that you are getting your money back when you spend it. This is very important, especially for those who have home-based businesses. If you take one of your independent contractors, your consultant or your kids or whomever, if you take those people out to eat and you discuss business and you don't document that as a business expense, then guess what? You just took them out to eat. Maybe you had a great conversation. Maybe the food was delicious, but the money is gone. If you run your business like a business with the intent of making a profit, now you get that money back. Okay? So I'm into growing revenue by any legal, ethical, and moral means necessary. I am into getting more money by any legal, ethical, and moral means necessary. So if that means if I spend $5, I can get $3 of it back because I know what I'm doing. I am oiling my engine. I have the proper advisors. I see the business that I am today and the one that I want to be. Then guess what? That's a win when you can get your money back. Now, let me tell you several ways you can get your money back. These are some of the most overlooked deductions, some of the most overlooked expenses that people have, all of us, most of us, and we do not realize that this is money that we can get back so we can either pay less taxes and increase our profit or get more money back on a tax return. But guess what? The harvest is here and the time is now. So just hold on for a second. Hi, I'm financial expert Lynn Richardson. You may have seen me on Good Morning America, The Steve Harvey Show, or Get Up Mornings with Erica Campbell. Guess what? Did you know you can get your money back if you hire your kids? You can get your money back if you go out to eat. You can get your money back if you go on a vacation. Well, guess what? In my book, Get Your Money Back, Tax Deductions You Never Know About, I'm going to teach you how you can get your money back with your home-based business legally, ethically, and all with the permission of the IRS. Just go to asklynn.org. The harvest is here, the time is now, and you must oil that business engine. And one of the reasons why you want to oil that engine, because the engine of your business is going to basically provide all of your ideas, intellectual property, product, service, and resources with the ability to generate sales and revenue so that you can have a profit. And the number one way to get a profit, to have more money above and beyond your expenses, your emergency needs, and your taxes, is to get your money back. So how can you get your money back? If you're in business, you're going to spend money on certain things, and you want to know what those things are, and you want to know the rules about those things. Learn the rules of the game and then play the game by the rules. Now, let me just say this to you. If your tax preparer is telling you you can't do these things, I'm going to tell you right now, they're not telling you the truth. The IRS tax code is over 70,000 pages long, and there are basic rules for every single thing that I'm going to say to you. So this is not what Lynn said. This is what the IRS said, and I'm going to lead you there. So one of the number one ways to get your money back is to take a look at your vehicle deductions. Can anybody say gas prices? Come on now. If you are spending too much money at the pump, guess what? Drive for business so you can get your money back. When you drive from your house to your job, you don't get that money back. But if you are an independent contractor, a sole proprietor, have your own business, a home-based business. Now, this is not driving from your house to your office building that you own as a business. You don't get any deductions from that. This means your primary business operations are out of your house. Now, you may say, well, Lynn, I drive for Uber, so I'm on the road. Well, if you are an Uber driver or any other kind of worker who has to actually do the function of your business outside your home, what the IRS is looking for is that the administrative portion of your business takes place in the house. So you get prepared, you look at your accounting, you detail your schedule, you do all that from home. So it is a home-based business, even though you have to go get in the car and deliver. All right. If your business has another location, that's not a home-based business, and this particular rule does not apply. When you have a home-based business and you leave your house and you drive for business, any place you drive for business is now eligible to be a tax write-off. You either get to write off the mileage or the expenses associated with that trip. It is all commensurate with the amount of business miles that you drive per year. So if you drive 10,000 miles per year and 5,000 of them are for business, that's 50% of the usage for business. Then 50% of your expenses, 50% of your gas, 50% of your registration, 50% of your engine, your oil change, 50% of all of that stuff is now going to be a tax write-off. This is huge. This is huge because if you're spending $500 a month on gas, that means if you're driving for business 50% of the time, then that's $250 a month. That's $1,000 every 4 months, okay? And that's $3,000 for the year. Now, $3,000 is $3,000, and I'm using small numbers. So your vehicle deductions, you are either going to write off the expenses or the mileage, okay? You're going to write off the expenses or the mileage. If you were driving that car for business last year and you wrote off the mileage, then you're going to also have to write off the mileage again this year, all right? So you want to talk to your tax preparer, or you want to Google IRS vehicle deductions. Pull up the schedule associated with this particular deduction and read it. All right. So when your tax preparer tells you can't do it, you're going to actually go find the knowledge that proves that you can, or you can enroll in classes at New Wealth University, because I've been training with my tax coach who was an IRS. He was an IRS trainer. He's an attorney and a CPA who used to work for the IRS and trained all the auditors. And now all he does is train folks like you and I. So you can go there and you can get that information. The next area where you want to make sure you're getting your tax write-offs. I've already mentioned it in those meals. Okay. I don't go out to eat for personal reasons ever. I always go out to eat for business reasons. Every time I go out to eat, it's to discuss business. Now, I'm in the business of money, and it's always appropriate because everybody needs some or trying to get some more. So it's a topic that always comes up. So I always schedule all of my meals when I go out to eat with people. Those are always business meals, okay? So you can get that money back as well. I'm telling you, the harvest is here and the time is now, and it's time for you to oil that business engine.
Don't turn that dial. We have to take a break. We'll be right back. WVON.
More of the Millionaires Roundtable coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I'm your host, Lynn Richardson, and we are creating millionaires one family at a time, one day at a time, $1 at a time, and $1 at a time. And that means you. Yes, the harvest is here. The time is now. That is still the case because I want you to know it, see it, receive it, and believe it. And you have to oil your business engine. And ultimately, one way to get the profit that you need is to get the money back. So we're talking about ways that you can do that. I talked about meals. Here's something else I want to say about meals. You used to be able to write off 50% of your meals, but because of the pandemic, when the CARES Act was put into place, you're able to write off 100% of the meal if the meal is at a restaurant or it's takeout from a restaurant. Remember, I said businesses are the engine of the economy. A car without an engine cannot drive, and an economy without a business cannot thrive. So the government wanted us to start to make the restaurant industry thrive. And so that was the incentive to, go to a restaurant. And if you do that and you discuss business, you get to write off 100% of that meal. So that's extremely important. All right. That's due to the CARES Act. Check with your tax preparer for the expiration date on that. Here's something else. Now, let me just say this. If you are in business with your spouse, eating out with your spouse does not qualify. The IRS is not funding date night. All right. So if you go out to eat with your spouse, it does not matter. You could have the biggest business in the galaxy. That is not a tax write-off. In order for it to be a tax write-off, you and your spouse have to be at that meal with another third party. And I would say make sure it's more than one person. All right. So if you and your spouse are in business and you do real estate or you do sales or whatever it is that you do, and you're meeting with a potential client, a potential referral partner, or someone who is a contractor or a vendor, then that becomes a write-off. So you want to be very, very careful about that.
And you don't want to try to play games. All right. I say learn the rules of the game and play the game by the rules. It's very important for you to know that. Now, with all these expenses, you must know who, what, when, where, why, and how much. I said all of that before, but I'm going to say it again. Document everything. Here's another way to get your money back so that ultimately in oiling that engine, which the purpose of that is to fuel your ideas, products, services so that they create sales and revenue. So that after that sales and revenue, after your expenses, your emergency needs, and your taxes, you've got a profit. All right. And the number one way to get a profit is to have less money going out or to have more money coming back in. And this is one way to get the money coming back in. The third area, again, this is something that every last one of us, if you're in business, you either have or should have, or you're already doing. So most of us are driving, most of us are eating. I don't know too many people who aren't doing either or both of those things. Here's the other thing, your home office. You want to take advantage of the home office deduction because if you do that, now you're going to get back a portion of your rent, your light bill, your gas bill, your telephone bill, all these things. It's very important. It's a lot of money. When you start to add up, because you might say it's just $10, it's just $20, it's just $30. When you add up all it's just, your wealth is lying there. So not only do you get to write off your computer and everything that you bought for that home office, but also your utilities and household expenses as well. This is good. It's time to oil that engine. The harvest is here and the time is now. I'm financial expert Lynn Richardson. You may have seen me on Good Morning America giving financial advice. When you get my freedom package, you get the 21 days to financial freedom and how to start a home-based business. See you in class. The harvest is here and the time is now. And yes, you must oil that engine. And we're talking about ways to get more profit. And one way to get more profit is to get more sales, less expenses, and less taxes. And one way to get less taxes is to make sure that if you spend $1, you know how to get it back. So let me just talk about the home office deduction for just a couple of more. Let me make a few more points. First of all, if you have a home office, remember we talked about janky businesses, and I talk about it regularly, and it's okay. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, and it's not an insult. I've had a janky business. And if I don't oil my engine, I might look up or wake up one day and a part of my business might be janky and I got to pull it together. That's just what it is. Okay. No need to be ashamed. You know, it bothers me when people say, well, if you do this, you're setting us back and it looks a certain way. I don't care what anybody thinks about me. Okay. If it's janky, it's janky. And I'm okay with that. But I'm going to fix it. I'm going to clean it up. I don't care what you think. I care what I think. All right. So let's stop letting the external world put labels on us and then we're all embarrassed. If it is something, that's what it is. And guess what? You can fix it and clean it up. And it's your perception of who you are and where you're going. That's what counts. So here are a few qualifications that you must meet if you are going to take the home office deduction. One, it must be a clearly defined space in your house. It cannot be your office at 2:00 and then your children are taking a nap at 3:00. That's not going to work. It cannot be used for any other purpose. It cannot be your office Monday through Friday, and then when your boo comes over on Saturday, it's where you all watch, Netflix and chill. It cannot do it. That's not a home office. All right. It has to be exclusively for business. The other thing is it has to be your principal place of business. I talked about that already, but it's where you do the majority of your administrative, sales, marketing, and management tasks. Okay. If you have to go out and work someplace else, if you have to go do meetings and consultations or drive or, go out to the, convention center and sell your stuff, that's fine. But the majority of your administrative tasks are happening from this home office. And then the other criteria is that you work regularly out of this office 4 days per week, at least 45 minutes per session. Okay. So you must use this space as an office, and it needs to be, functioning for the purpose of you being able to be more profitable. All right. So just because you have a space in your office and you put a computer in there doesn't make it a home office for tax deduction purposes. So you want to keep on remembering to learn the rules of the game and play the game by the rules. Here's the other area where you can get your money back. Your children. They need everything: food, clothing, shelter, all of that stuff. you're going to buy it anyway. But if you have a home-based business and you hire those kids to work in your business, not only do they, they get to skip all the child labor laws. They can work any time of day for any number of hours. Now, don't kill them, all right? You need them, right? Don't do that. And you certainly can't do anything dangerous. But that child can work at 2 a.m. It's allowed. And it's a tax write-off to you, the money that you pay them. And now the money that they receive, that salary, it's no taxes up to the first $12,500. So it's a win-win, and that's a way to get an additional tax deduction. Money that you were going to spend anyway, and now you're going to get it back. The harvest is here, and the time is indeed now. You have been listening to the Millionaires Roundtable. I am your host, Lynn Richardson. It's WVON 1690 AM, the talk of Chicago, the voice of the nation, our favorite radio station. I want you to follow me on social media at Lynn Richardson. Follow this show at Lynn Millionaire. Go and get help at asklynn.org because I want to help you take it to the next level. Guess what? I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.